and move on to that Wizards semis, where we're getting into this game 1 for ATATA and Endothia, Wizards holders here at Honeypot 7.
Yes, sir. Small Battlefield has been the place to be in this top 8, and I am so here for it. Love to see a change of pace. Love to see a change of scenery. I haven't been to Iowa in a while, and I haven't seen Small Battlefield this often in the same amount of time.
And immediately on this first stock, you're seeing ATATA go for those footstool side magnet cancels. Could be something to look out for just as a way to punish any errant Game & Watch landing options that are unsafe, making Endothia just think about it a little bit more. Game Watch is just so used to being able to approach so freely that that could be a deciding factor in this set as it goes on.
Yeah, for sure. And Ness and ATATA like to play at that kind of mid-range with those PK fires and a lot of those little, like, jump in, jump out, weave in, weave out, and
ooh,
that key.
And get out of here, get out of the stage.
Access denied, that key got changed, that lock got changed. You're gonna have to try another one.
Yeah, and ATATA just, again, when we talk about how hard it is to edgeguard ATATA, you do not know how hard it is until you experience it yourself. Endothia learning really quick that it is much easier said than done, but he does find the key to disrupt that up B there to keep himself in this game 1.
That one is good. That one's fine. He may have been watching that set against with ATATA and Loaf, and he's like, man, it can't be that hard. Look at what Loaf did. Nah, man. It's different. You're playing a completely different character, and you now have to get back to the stage against that character, and it's a lot harder than Wario has it.
And we're probably going to see that Yo-Yo come into play if ATATA can force those low recoveries. Here we go. Going to try to time it, and that is just the freest 2-frame that ATATA could ask for on that relatively slow Game & Watch up B once it gets toward the apex of that recovery.
I honestly, that's, like, let's unpack almost everything in that situation. He got Endothia pushing off stage so far, and ATATA pretty much letting it happen, and then almost reversing it, but then missing the tech that Endothia forced him into, and now got ourselves even stocks, 1 stock apiece in game 1 only. This is going so fast. I don't even know how they're getting all this information for the rest of the set.
And sometimes when the early the set goes, like when it's really quick like this, it's harder to digest that information and learn anything. And Endothia really not giving ATATA an opportunity to respond for the second half of that game.
I'm not shocked that that killed at 100%. I'm shocked that ATATA was already at 100%. Because in an instant, it was gone. The stock got the numbers went up, and then the numbers just dropped. It was like 2008 all over again.
That has been the second time to end games for ATATA where he went off for what was a bit of a greedy reversal on an edge guard, and he paid for it. And especially in that game, it was second stock, and he just lost all momentum. He never reset neutral again, and it was all Endothia to end that game 1.
And it looks like Endothia is comfortable off stage, and so is ATATA. So it was a vibe check of which one of them was like, how far off stage? How often are you willing to push that extra button off stage if you might lose your stock for it? And in game 1, that was Endothia.
And ATATA needs to check the vibes just a little bit, just cool down just a touch, because he's let a couple games go just going for these edge guards that are kind of uncharacteristic of him. And Endothia just continues to stack that momentum, getting a lot of quick early percent here.
These easy combos. Ooh, nice footstool. Got that reverse. Off stage, still Endothia, racking up that percent.
Oh, just that. I think there was an accidental B reverse on the recovery there, so wasn't even able to get back to meet that Yo-Yo.
Accidental flex of tech skill, no big deal.
And something that I'm noticing too, with those footstool side magnet cancels, he's using that to disrupt the landing down airs from Endothia. So a staple in Game & Watch's disadvantage state, and if you don't have access to that, unless you're on a platform, that could be something that could be a big momentum changer for the set.
ATATA not able to advance quite yet on the second stock. Endothia came up Angel platform and has just been putting the hands on ATATA, put the bombs on ATATA too.
Yeah, hold this really quick. But ATATA, been at these low percents, has been able to consistently rack up that damage. It's just been a matter of avoiding these edge guard scenarios and finding these stocks, putting Endothia off stage to be met with a yo-yo. But Endothia getting that classic Game & Watch grab, nair. He needs to stack this up in pretty poor landing options available for Ness on stage. and ATATA eating 60% because of it.
He's not really doing himself any favors. Been doing a lot of the same stuff, kind of falling to the same area around that platform, and then going for the side magnet as a bit of a stall, and then Endothia is just kind of reading the momentum after the fact and continuing the advantage. So ATATA really, like, it may not be amazing for Ness to find a way to land against Game & Watch. It never is for any character, but he's not doing himself any favors by barely mixing it up.
But you see him starting to swat him away with those back airs to create space and create those edge guard opportunities, sliding through, sneaking his way through that neutral air dodge. But now Endothia just going to the skies like Snake and landing center stage with that key, and now finding an edge guard opportunity for himself.
Yeah, and ATATA did mix up that recovery, mix up that landing, and he found himself a little bit of advantage, but got to do it again. And that's the tough part about playing against Game & Watch, and then off stage, where he loves to be, getting that up air, and we got ourselves just a little bit of a lead for ATATA.
Just the sneakiest little up air, too, under the stage. You don't see ATATA go for it that often. So, again, that's where this inexperience where you guys don't play each other very often. You can kind of pull out those unique options. But Endothia trying to pull off this edge guard.
Bounce.
ATATA, but
yeah.
And you
That's where Endothia learned
again.
from the previous set ATATA played. Going just off stage, knowing that ATATA bounces off the stage very often, and then running just off the ledge, eating up that PK Thunder, and now we got ourselves an even stock game.
And ATATA with a solid lead right now, which could go back by in a flash depending on the advantage state for Endothia, but ATATA just trying to shut the door on this game too and even things up, hunting for those back airs, and he will find the yo-yo to even the things up.
Zoom in on that brand check for the yo-yo. I don't know what it is, but ATATA sure does. We've seen that win screen plenty of times as we go 1-1 in this set.
Chat, name one yo-yo brand. One.
I'm not chat. I don't know that.
Oh yeah, that's why I wasn't gonna ask you. I know you don't know.
What's that mean? You don't think I got?
Oh, I don't know either. They've got Google. We've got to watch this. We got to lock in for game 3.
We get to watch this, and you guys have to listen to us. That's your problem.
No. They can hit the mute button.
No,
And
no.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Mute buttons don't exist. Just gaslight the audience. They'll never know.
I cast no mute button. But as we've been talking,
96
at 96% on this first stock in game 3, but trying to respond here, get some momentum going, but that key is going to disrupt immediately.
Man, that percent came to ATATA in no time at all.
But just finding his way through that rising air dodge basically acts as a third jump for Ness. But doesn't matter. You can recover all you want, ATATA, but you got to start getting some damage on.
Are you going to bounce again, knowing that it's that dangerous? Endothia does not have the stones to go off for that one.
And it's tough because the way ATATA is recovering at those angles, you can't just do the drop-off. There, maybe you could, but when it's just so quick like that, it's hard to react. And Endothia has such a strong lead that why would you go off stage when you can just finally find that back air at 182% when you only have 32% to your name?
Yeah, and that's that confidence to know that you're okay with just letting Ness get back with those PK Thunders, knowing I'll take the stock in another way. I don't have to risk my stock in order to take yours.
Here we go, just immediately lapping ATATA with that quick Game & Watch percent. ATATA just has not been able to find any meaningful openings. He was finding them so consistently in the first 2 games. What happened here?
He's not getting Endothia off stage. Endothia has planted himself between those 2 platforms. Normally where ATATA is going to be short hopping and shooting those PK fires from the platforms, but Endothia is holding that space and making sure that, and making ATATA come to him and push the advantage.
Oh man, just another key, another disadvantage that ATATA needs to find his way through. Barely avoids yet another key. And Endothia, he's either in the middle of the stage or he's just on a platform holding shield. And there just isn't a lot that Ness can do about it.
He's got, like, Ness would have to do something very committal from directly underneath the platform in order to just pressure Endothia's shield, and not really willing to do that when you're sitting at 150% and you're not even at even stocks.
He just going to send ATATA bouncing up to the top. A lot from Game & Watch here. A back air in the corner will get it done. But a fair just gonna live right there. These throws from Game & Watch are gonna start killing sooner than later, Mochi.
Like, why won't you lose your stock? Please just eat the bacon. I'm done with you. Thank you, finally. with a kill. The second time we've seen a Game & Watch throw kill in this block.
Yeah, pulling out the Circus Act, gonna juggle him up to the top blast zone. Gonna juggle him again here on this last stock for a quick 50%. ATATA almost getting lapped. He is been lapped a second time in this game 3.
Yeah, this. Sometimes you just gotta. Sometimes you just get washed, and that's what this game is looking like.
Smash Ultimate is very much a game of momentum. We've seen reverse 3-stocks before, but ATATA has not been able to find one meaningful opening in neutral. Finally finds a back air there, but finally just a little bit too high on that up B is Endothia, so ATATA avoiding the 3-stock, but has so much work cut out for him to make this game even competitive.
Yeah, the way that he had to tiptoe just to get that spacing, and then drop kick Endothia for just one stock. Oh my.
Endothia just continues to put these keys in the way of ATATA off stage. Finds another bomb. Going high as ATATA, and he kind of has to, but that Nair is going to find it. Not quite going to kill, but so close. And what is so crazy about that is I'm so used to ATATA pulling games out from nowhere with those down airs off stage. But at that time, Endothia was ready for it, and he finishes off that game 3 to go up 2-1.
Yeah, that might, like, shades of the previous set with ATATA there. Like, I hope this works, and if it does, we'll go from there. But that felt a lot more like a desperation move than something that he actually believed would work.
Which is just very uncharacteristic of ATATA, too, because he's very much in control off stage in most matchups. We've seen him do that to Mudace. We've seen him do that to a lot of other players in a similar scenario. But it was when he was on that back foot, like you were saying, it felt like a little bit more desperation that we're just not used to from ATATA, and he needs to collect himself real fast. There's one more game standing between him and being out of this bracket.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is lose to an outside invader, but sometimes players are just better, and Endothia is looking like he's got the absolute download on ATATA. That last game was a masterclass of holding stage control and holding ledge opportunities. He is not letting ATATA get anything on the stage. He is maybe allowing ATATA to be on those platforms for like maybe a few seconds, and the rest of it, sayonara. Though, like, everything is going in Endothia's favor.
And before, we were seeing ATATA do really well in these up-close scrapping scenarios on stage, but Endothia really isn't even giving him the opportunity to engage in the opportunities that he had previously. So now Endothia it's been all him as this set goes on. I have not seen ATATA be thrown for a loop this hard in quite some time.
It's like he gets back to the stage, and then he's like, I gotta push a button. Or gets back to stage, finally I'm landing, I gotta push a button. He just gets his feet on the ground, I gotta push a button. But you're pushing your buttons against the shield of Game & Watch, and you're losing your stocks faster than I can talk about them.
Finally finding a meaningful advantage state on that platform after struggling so hard to find an answer, but it almost didn't matter, just a really small advantage state. And Endothia just going for the 9s, almost gets it one off, but just has such a large lead. ATATA tries to find that edgeguard scenario, going for those side magnet cancels, but Endothia just continues to tack on more and more damage.
It's a little too soon. I can imagine the sun is setting outside at this point of time in the Midwest, and it might be that time for our boy ATATA.
Sun is setting in Chicago right now, that's for sure.
Oh man, it's not looking too pretty. If he can even get back to the stage.
Endothia playing so well. Just needs one more edge guard here. That should be it. He's going so low. Is he just going to get in the way? ATATA is just going to accept that there's no way he's making that back. And Endothia with a resounding 3-1, which I don't know if I've ever seen or heard that, but it was such a resounding win by the end of that set.
That's tough. That's tough. And